What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Shoshimin series, this time with the final episode of season 2. I think I did hear in the comment section last week, not on my video, but another, that this could potentially be the last episode of this series in general in the anime format. I did look myself, and I think this came out in like the 2000s and is still supposedly run until now, but the anime here has now covered all of the content between then and now, which again seems to span an awfully long amount of time considering how many episodes there's been, which is 22. And that's a real big shame because, as you guys know, I've absolutely loved this show so far. So I'm definitely going to have to check out Hyoka afterwards. I'm not sure if it's going to be the next anime I cover, but I am looking for what I am going to be watching after Natsume Yuujin show. And right now it's Bacano or Bacano, but it very well could be Hyoka, so I'm not really sure at the minute. I think that's another series that's kind of waiting for more content in anime form as well, so not sure if it's like a great idea to watch that. I mean, if it's good, it's good, but you know what I mean. But yeah, fantastic episode last week. Lots of stuff uncovered about the accident and the people involved. This girl who we see with a hammer in the episode here, just crazy. But yeah, I still wonder why exactly she couldn't be known about. Oh shit! You got powdered. You see like glasses on as well. So yeah, we saw Osanai go into her pocket at the end of last episode. I didn't quite pick up on that little detail, but she came prepared. Unfortunately for Osanai, we are having to roll around a cripple. Obviously, not the best method or quickest method to escape. Gotta wait for the bloody elevator and not go to the stairs. Hey, nice. Oh, they went up. Interesting. Why do we go up? I guess that would make very interesting. You see, very. Do you know what? Slight detail here. I'm not even sure if I'm right about this, but you'd think the logical thing would be to think bottom floor, furthest. Like when you're in a situation like this. Sorry to maybe overanalyze this, but okay, I watch a lot of horror movies, see a lot of chase scenes, see a lot of slashers. Your first thought is as far away as possible, as close to an exit as possible. So you're thinking go down to the first floor, head out the exit, get the hell away from the hospital, get as far away from this killer or this attackist or whatever you want to call her, attacker. Get far away from her as possible. But I think the thing with that is I think she could probably catch up. If you chose to go to the first floor, there's a lot of floors you got to go down, and I think she probably is much more likely to catch up if she went by if the attacker went through the stairs. You see that a lot in horror movies. They like catch the elevator and the killer's already like at the entrance or exit or whatever by the time they get there. So yeah, it might be more opportunity to catch up if they go furthest floors away down to the bottom floor. Counterpoint to that, I guess, would be that maybe it's late at night, so I don't think it's awfully busy, but it could be quite a bit more busy on the first floor, so maybe that might be a slight counterpoint to what I'm saying here. There'd be more chance of them getting away because she wouldn't do this in front of so many people. But I've got to assume this place is about as busy as this 10th floor seems right now. Going to the 11th floor, it seems like where are you going to escape to when you go to the top floor? And I'm still asking that question, but that's like the best option for now. I think that's the smartest option. You put more distance between you and her going to the top floor rather than going to the bottom floor, even though it seems like you'd make more distance from her going from the 10th floor to the bottom floor. If that makes any sense? Again, very much overanalyzing this right now, but I was just thinking, you know what, that's pretty smart if she has a plan of where they're going to go once they reach the top floor. So it's actually made her just wait for the other elevator. I mean, it goes without saying, Kabato and Osunai can't take the stairs. So how the hell do we plan on getting out of here? If I was her, I'd just camp the elevators. Huh. Weird way. See, I don't know why. This, for some reason, this reminds me of that basketball scene from Scary Movie 2. They're playing, but the wheelchair guy's got the basketball. Yeah. I stall her for a bit. Surely she must be thinking to herself, what the fuck's she doing at this point? I'm trying to kill kids right now. What are you doing right now then? So I think it stands to reason that she thinks that Kabato led to his self-inflicted death. I'm still not putting it together. So he was cheating on his girlfriend at the time with this woman, and they're related. I still don't get it. There's some kind of incest going on right here. I hope I'm very wrong. I feel like I'm very wrong. Maybe it's just because it is wrong. But, so they obviously had some kind of relationship. What I'm kind of slightly confused about is if they're actually related. I still don't know what's going on. Okay. Do you know what? This woman's calmed down a bit now. We're doing a very good job of stalling her. Isaka Eiko-san. Well, what does that mean? So they are siblings? And they weren't in a relationship? I don't think. Hope not. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, okay. So I don't think they were dating. I don't think he was cheating on his girlfriend then. I think these were just close siblings that, as she said here, wanted to reconnect their family. So it was an admirable thing. I'm not sure. Well, I think we can understand why they went to the extent to hide it. But from the police, that's like a little bit questionable to me. I can understand wanting to hide it from your parents and everybody else, so your parents wouldn't find out. I guess if the police found out, then they'd probably stand a reason that they'd tell your parents as well. So I guess I can understand that, but I don't know. If I feel like if I was getting questioned by the police, I would tell them this. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Um, yeah, they were just really close siblings, wanting to get their family back together, and unfortunately, Kabato and Osanai's inquisitiveness, um, not direct. Well, I guess maybe I wouldn't say directly, but in a roundabout way, ended up kind of breaking their family apart forever. And again, it led him to um, end his own life. Yeah, crazy. Okay, it must feel terrible being Kabato and Osanai right now. I've mentioned this story a few times before about how I used to have some friends and they used to do drugs with them and such. This was many years after I was hanging around with them, but they went to a festival and ended up accidentally killing someone from selling them some dodgy drugs or something like that. They ended up killing someone at the festival, and I always think about that and be like, wow, I could have still been friends with them at that point. I could have had somebody's life on my conscience like that, and I'm not sure I'd be able to handle it. So having and even probably, well, I don't know if it's more or oh, for fuck's sake. I hope I haven't been lagging. Apologies, guys. My OneDrive was on this whole time. It doesn't look like I was lagging, so hopefully I wasn't. I'll go back and check after the video, but yeah, apologies about that. But yeah, I don't think I'd be able to cope with myself. To be honest, self-identity was always a thing I struggled with anyway. So having like that on top of those issues I had would yeah, I think it was a bit disastrous. So it's kind of a mean one as well because for Kabato and Osadai, they were just being inquisitive and like it was interesting and like I can't really fault them or blame them too much, but knowing that something so trivial kind of led to all of this disaster and her brother dying and her almost turning into a killer here, literally running over children, like that must feel like you'd feel that deep in your soul, I think, of you causing that much kind of pain. And again, it's mean because they obviously didn't intend to. This is heavy right here. This is some heavy stuff. So you can understand her feelings, can't you? Doesn't mean that she should be killing people, but I mean, yeah, she was also looking into it, to be fair. Made you look. So that video of that boxing gate. Is he not dead? Sorry guys, have I just had this misconception this whole time? I thought at the start of this arc they mentioned that he died, right? Because one of my theories early on in this arc was the fact that he was trying to get ran over on purpose, which obviously now we know wasn't the case. Huh? I thought he was dead. Wow. Sorry guys. Then I guess I've had this misconception this whole time that this boy was dead, as you just heard me talk about. Huh. My bad. I don't know where I got that from. Did anyone else think that? Or maybe that's just me being crazy. I don't know. Sorry about all the pausing as well, by the way. Nay-chan. I mean, that is him, I think. So this would have been much more understandable if it did lead to his death, but it's ultimately only that, meaning that their family was destroyed, which is a big thing. Don't get me wrong, but they were kind of apart from each other anyway. I don't know why I thought he was dead. Sorry. Maybe it's because of, like they said that his whole like career in athletics and such was dead. Maybe I just took it way too like literally in that sense. Like they killed his career, and maybe I accidentally read that as like they killed him or something. I don't know. Sorry guys. Why did I think that? Why did I think this guy was dead? I'm glad he's not. Again, I've got to apologise because that has been like a big part of my reactions for every episode in this arc. Me thinking that this guy was dead. Like every reasoning to every piece of logic I was thinking of, kind of that was a big part of it. So yeah, as I was saying, it would have been a bit more understandable if he was actually dead. To just kill kids like this over losing the opportunity of getting your parents back together is a little bit more question. It's quite a bit more questionable, in my opinion. This is a very good lesson, though, isn't it? This is a very good lesson for Kabato and Osanai, to be honest. So well done, guys. Very grown up right here. You must think if adults got into this situation, it would go a very different way, I think. A lot of times. Maybe the misconception I had came from me theorizing that he wanted to get hit. So then I just assumed that he... I don't know. Again, I can only say sorry. I quite laugh. Just yet. Ah. You're right. The guy's always a part of the mysteries. Shoshimin. Ah. I guess sometimes it's better off not knowing. Yeah, probably. Ah. So I thought last week that it was the case that they just drove the car into the yeah, I guess her reaction does make sense. Yeah, I just assumed that they drove the car into the river. Apologies, guys. Yes. Seemingly the person she cares about, seemingly the most, seeing the worst side of you. Yeah, definitely. Now you say it, perhaps. Perhaps so. Do you need to ask? Do you need to ask, you little devil? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know what kind of person you are. You little witch. It's also like it's not as I don't think this is like an evil one. Like, yes, it's slightly sadistic thinking of that as like a bit of revenge, but there's also like a good side of that of it actually helping her to realize just how ugly she was being right there, just like killing kids and yeah, getting revenge like that. Like, yes, it was slightly sadistic, but it was also like you could see it as she was being very nice, and yeah, you could see it in a nice way as well, I guess. Oh fucking hell, do you want my strawberries on that? What is that? Damn, we're almost at the end of the episode, by the way. What is this? Is that a strawberry tart? With 5% tart. Bloody hell, bro. That's, call that the Osanai special, probably. So yeah, apparently, like I said, that I will look after this episode, but again, I'm pretty sure this ran from like mid 2000s, and it's still ongoing. It says. Yeah, again, there's only 22 episodes worth of content, which is quite crazy. Kyoto, really? Was he wrong? I don't know. You look kind of proud. You don't look very unpleased right here. You know. So this is his next mystery. You know, this does kind of feel quite a bit finalistic. Is that a word? And he didn't get to complete the chocolate. So that's what the meaning of that was. Again, this feels like as much as I did say earlier about this apparently still being ongoing. It seems like a pretty nice wrap up, all things considered, doesn't it? They're now like moving on to university. Yeah, it actually feels like quite again a sense of not fully kind of finality and not fully kind of concluded, but it does feel pretty satisfying in that regard actually. Like I'm not left. Obviously, I want more, but I'm not left kind of at like feeling nothing. If you know what I'm saying, like just waiting. I'm left feeling like, no, that was a pretty awesome story to go out on. I think that's definitely one of the best mysteries we've had so far. One of the most impactful as well, just on a human scale of like murder and depression and well, again, I thought he had killed himself, so that was another like extra bit for me, which was just purely delusion, I guess. But that was also another powerful factor, which wasn't actually a part of it. Didn't turn out, but yeah, just felt very heavy. One of the heaviest stories we've had so far, for sure. And like I said, a really good place to end off. It does leave me wanting to like see like when she is at university, when he comes to and everything, and he gets to Kyoto, see exactly what she's kind of laid out for him, if he could find her. But just like the thought of that kind of, I don't like need to see that, if that makes sense. Like I'd like to, but it's like just knowing that that will be the case is just kind of like satisfying. Weirdly, I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, I've again just got to apologise the fact that I was absolutely misconstrued some piece of information somewhere about the fact that this boy character, the brother, was dead. I'm not sure if that came from my theories about him walking into the road himself early on in the season, early on in the arc, should I say? I'm not sure if that came from the wording, but probably not the wording used, but like the fact that they said like all of his prospects, his athletic career, and that would be his last tournament in. Like, was it potentially set up for us to believe he was dead at this point? Because we hadn't seen him in like this future version of him, so maybe it was not a case of me being deluded, which I think it probably was, but maybe it was the case of the show kind of setting it up so it looked like that would be the case. As I said, they mentioned how his career and his that would be like his final tournament, and he didn't want to compete or do anything that he used to do after the accident. So I again, maybe I just assumed using all of that kind of stuff that kind of felt like it would fit in with someone that would maybe off themselves like that. But quite a harsh assumption to make by me. So yeah, not sure what the case is with that, to be honest with you. But again, can only apologise that I had that misconception this whole time, unless it was intentional, which it might have been. I'll have to go back and watch. But yeah, powerful ending to the episode today. I really like some of the tension during these scenes. Very much felt a little bit like Halloween 2. If any of you guys have watched that, not my favourite Halloween movie, to be honest with you. I think it's actually one of the weaker ones, which is seemingly an unpopular opinion, but it is just a bit more boring than quite a few of the other Halloween movies. And that one has quite a bit of like hospital kind of chase scenes and such. There's quite a bit of it in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 as well, I believe. There's a brutal Danny Trejo kill that's been going, I wouldn't say viral recently, but I've been seeing it quite a bit recently of him. Mikey, I was good to you. He was treating Michael Myers well and such, and he still ended up getting the raw end of the stick from Mikey Myers. But off the point there. But yeah, really liked. Kind of gave those kind of similar vibes. Obviously, this girl is no Michael Myers. Like that guy is like an absolute presence. Just a dominating presence. This girl, not so much, but still like really invoking a few kind of similar kind of feelings in me, to be honest with you. I thought it was a really cool, intense segment with her. Loved the dialogue we had with her, kind of figuring out the mystery, which I still didn't like fully wrap my head around until it was fully explained. And that makes a lot of sense. Except for, again, I think it made more sense to me with my wrong assumption of what happened to this boy. I wouldn't say it like falls apart or anything, but it does lose a little bit of weight now. I realise that she was just ready to kill. Like, I don't want to sound overly bad here because I've never been in a situation. But from what I understood is their parents were at odds with each other and separated from each other anyway, and they had a chance of getting them back together, and they were plotting about that, and then that all got ruined by Kabata and Osanai's involvement in uncovering the mystery. However, it wasn't solidified, guaranteed to happen, and I feel like it might not have had like even a 50% chance of happening anyway, considering they are adults. I know children in your life could be powerful, but like they're two adults that sure know what they want and what's kind of best for them. So I don't want to comment about it too much because we didn't actually see too much of that, but she was mad at them losing the opportunity to do that. It wasn't like he took away like every chance. Like the scenario was that they were separated anyway. So Kabato and Osunai didn't really actually change anything. They only lost these two siblings the opportunity to change something, which I guess is a big thing in itself. But it's I don't know. To kill to go from that to killing to teenagers is a little bit crazy, but I guess that girl's just got a little bit crazy to her, I guess. She just felt that strongly about it. You would feel strongly about it if you're in the situation, but to feel that strong that you become a ruthless murderer, like I can kind of, I wouldn't say get behind, but I can understand seeing him, like it quickly happened. You just drive on the road, you quickly see the person that pretty much ruined your family's lives in a way. That's putting it very bluntly, but yeah, to her, ruining their family's lives. You quickly see them on your side road. I can kind of understand, like you've got a lot of adrenaline rushing. You see them, you just see red, and you just go, and you just quickly like split second just go like that. Like I can understand it being done like a split second situation like that, but to ruthlessly pursue them through the hospital like this with a hammer, with the intent on killing them, I think that woman should be locked up. But yeah, do let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Again, I've got to apologise about my assumptions. Let me know what you guys thought though down in the comment section. Let me know if you guys thought that as well. Did I end up like what's it called? Did I end up making you guys think that was the case with my wrong assumptions? Like, did you guys then get wrong assumptions from that? Hopefully not. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. As I mentioned towards the end, definitely one of my favourite, if not maybe my favourite kind of mystery we've had so far, to be honest with you. It's, again, especially in terms of like weight and power and like the really conclusive ending as well. I thought this was awesome. Really well paced. Again, great tension, great mystery, interesting characters, interesting dynamics. Again, felt like there was a lot on the line. Yeah, just awesome stuff. It's an absolute shame that it's had to end here, but again, awesome place to end. Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching the series. As I did mention in the intro as well, I might be watching Ayoka. Maybe not so soon. As I said, I am planning on watching Bacano, but again, might change. I'm a really big fan of this, so if Hyoka is anything like this, I will absolutely love it. So look out for that if I do end up picking that up. But again, thank you guys for watching, and have a good rest of your day.